You're tuning to Relationship Wednesday, where we expose the lies, set fire to the bullshit, and show you what real love should actually feel like. This is the Bad Influence Podcast, the one they warn you about. I'm your host, Jordan Banderas, and today we're cutting through manipulation, codependency, and toxic patterns with a machete. If you're tired of walking on eggshells in your relationship, it ends now. Raw truth, real growth. Let's get into it. When was the last time you argued with your partner? Did you argue to solve the problem or just to win the damn fight? That's a good question. The reason why I asked this is because the other day at work, this lady was complaining about how her partner uses logic during their arguments and how she can't handle it due to her being an emotional person. Her words, not mine. So let's be real about this. Most of us, because I used to be like this, most of us argue like it's a competition, not a conversation. I've done it. Fighting just to prove I wasn't wrong, even when winning cost me connection. And let me tell you, winning the fight but losing the trust is the dumbest trade you'll ever make. Because love without logic, that's wildfire. It looks hot, but it leaves nothing standing. It's true. It's absolutely true. Are you reacting to what your partner actually said or the emotional story your brain decided they meant? Because how many of us have done that? Be honest. Half the time, you're not even reacting to their words. You're reacting to an old wound that just got triggered. They said one sentence. Your brain turned it into a whole ass novel. They don't respect me. They're leaving me. They don't love me. Logic filters the noise. Emotion feeds the chaos. How much chaos in your relationship is created by ego masquerading as passion? That fire you call chemistry sometimes, it's just two egos swinging. Real passion builds, ego burns. And if you can't tell the difference, your relationship is just gasoline waiting for a spark. No wonder so many couples end up burned out instead of built up. So be honest with yourself right now. Do you bring facts, clarity, and solutions into conflicts? Or do you throw gasoline on the fire because your pride can't take the hit? I've thrown gas. Double down where I should have calmed down. And every time, the fire got bigger, not better. Because pride doesn't fix problems. It just scorches whatever's left. What's stronger in your relationship? Your ability to listen logically or your need to defend emotionally? Most of us defend before we even hear. Logic says pause, breathe, and most importantly, listen. Emotion says swing first, figure it out later. But if you keep defending, your partner never feels understood. They just feel unseen. And do you actually want your partner to feel like that in your relationship? I bet the answer is no. At least it should be no. Because do you even know what your partner really needs in the moment? Or do you just rush to prove you're right? Sometimes they don't need your debate. They don't need your argument. They need your presence. Because you can't lead with solutions if you don't even understand the need. I know, right? That's like a bucket of cold water, because that's how we felt when I learned this. And how often do you weaponize emotion as proof when logic would have solved the issue in half the time? Look how mad I am. That means I'm right. No. It just means you're loud. Logic cuts through bullshit in minutes. Emotion is stretched into a weapon, just drags the fight out until both of you are exhausted. Have you ever felt like that in an argument in your relationship? I know I have in the past. And probably, if you have done this, probably you feel the same. Don't lie. Don't lie. If you recorded your last 5 disagreements, what would they reveal? A partnership built on strategy, or 2 people reacting like amateurs in the ring? If you'd cringe watching the replay, you already got your answer. Because strong couples fight like pros, with strategy, discipline, and rules. Weak couples fight like bar brawlers, sloppy, messy, destructive. It's true. Think about it. When you have a messy relationship, that's exactly what happens. You guys get in fights. It looks like a bar brawl, all sloppy, all messy, and incredibly destructive. But why do so many people treat logic as cold in relationships when it's actually the tool that prevents love from burning itself out? That's a good question. And the reason is because logic isn't the enemy of love. I want you to understand that. It's the boundary that keeps love from killing itself. Passion without structure is chaos. Structure without passion is dead. You need both, or you lose both. Believe it or not, that's exactly what happens in some relationships. What would change if every conflict started with one question? Do we want to be right, or do we want to be effective? That one question could flip your whole dynamic. Because in love, being right isn't the win. Staying connected is. Effective couples ask, how do we solve this together? Instead of, how do I crush them in this argument? How many of you have asked yourself that? How many of you have that intention during an argument to crush the other person just to satisfy your ego and your pride? The bottom line is this. Love without logic is wildfire. It looks hot. It really does. It looks extremely hot, right? It feels intense. But it leaves nothing standing. Logic doesn't kill love. It protects it. It directs it. It keeps the flame burning without burning you both alive. It's true. At least that's how it has worked for me in my relationship. And yes, you don't have to be super logical. You just have to have some logic that actually stomps out all these bad emotions out of the argument. That's what you need. So picture this. Midnight silence. 2 people at a table, both defending, both exhausted. The fight isn't about dishes or tone or timing. The fight is about selfhood. My perspective is that despair is not knowing who you are, so you grab at your partner's words, twisting them into an attack because at least it makes you feel something. The ego hates silence, so it fills the room with noise because stillness will mean facing the fact you're not in control. Every jab you throw is less about your partner and more about the wound in you that can't stand to be seen. You argue to win because losing feels like death. But the irony, oh, the irony. Every win digs you deeper into despair. You trade intimacy for illusion. The transformation doesn't come when one of you wins. It comes when you stop auditioning for the role of the righteous and step into the truth of the flawed, breathing human who doesn't need to be perfect to be loved. That's the shift. That's the shift that I had to make. And a lot of you will have better relationships if you try this. Because what if it works for you? You never know. Yes, it can be scary. But if it works for you, damn, you're going to have a good relationship. Because here's the thing. Logic isn't cold. It's clarity. It's the refusal to let old ghosts fight through your mouth. Tenderness in conflict isn't weakness. It's the highest proof of strength. And suddenly, the argument reveals itself the way it always was. Not a courtroom, but a mirror. Not an attack, but an invitation. To choose presence over pride, connection over combustion. To prove not that you're right, but that you're real. So here's the challenge. Stop reacting. Start reasoning. Build a love that lasts longer than a fight. Trade ego for empathy. Trade noise for clarity. Trade pride for partnership. Because logic isn't cold. It's the warmth that stays after the fire settles. And if you want love worth keeping, you'd better learn how to fight smarter, not harder. Now go. Choose connection over combustion. Because real love doesn't just survive the storm. It builds shelter inside it. And when you have a shelter inside your relationship that is filled with love, you're going to feel this protection, this calmness, this love that will show you that no matter what you have done in the past, the wounds that you carry or anything, you're still your partner's favorite person. And remember, the choice is yours. And that's it for today. If this episode peeled back the mask on your relationship, don't ignore it. You deserve more than crumbs. Draw the damn line. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss the truth bombs that actually change lives. Share this with someone who needs to wake up to real love, not manipulation. This is the Bad Influence Podcast. Until next time, know your worth, speak your truth, never flinch, and have a great day.